You think online challenges are just dumb pranks. That's what I thought too. Just harmless trends, stitched together for clout. Kids swallowing detergent, doing dances, holding their breath until they pass out. Idiocy for views, nothing more. But this one, it's different. It's not a game. It never was. I'm staring at my screen right now. 3 in the morning. The glow of my webcam's red light burns at the corner of my eye. And I know, it isn't me who turned it on. They're watching. It started so small. A message, a dare. Play along. Level 1, I laughed. God, I laughed. I thought it was some underground ARG, something for internet freaks to waste their nights on. I thought I could drop out whenever I wanted, but it doesn't let you go. The first task was stupid, embarrassing, the kind of thing you record to mess with your friends. But then the second came, and the third, each one worse than the last. And now I can't tell where the game ends and where I begin. I've stopped sleeping. Every time I close my eyes, I see the feed. My own face, glitching, smiling when I'm not smiling. I hear my own voice repeating words I never said. My phone vibrates even when it's off. There are messages waiting for me that I'm not supposed to see. And if I don't keep playing, if I don't obey, I think it's going to come out of the screen. You probably think I've lost it, that I'm paranoid, that this is some long-winded prank for clicks. Fine, believe that. But if you're here, if you found this, then you're already closer than you should be. The challenge wants you. It feeds on curiosity. That's the real first test. Will you look away, or will you keep listening? If you're watching this before they take it down, remember, I tried to warn you. Before all of this, my life wasn't exactly thrilling. I was just another insomniac glued to my phone, scrolling through the digital landfill we politely call social media. Nights blurred into each other, doom-scrolling Reddit threads, watching TikTok dances I'd never attempt, and laughing at the kind of viral trends that made you lose faith in humanity. People setting themselves on fire for likes. Teens eating Tide Pods like they were gummy bears. My personal favorite, the Ghost Pepper Milkshake Challenge, which ended with some poor guy vomiting live on stream while his friends screamed in the background. Pathetic, sure, but entertaining enough to keep me awake until sunrise. That was my normal, cynical amusement. Snark in the comment sections, copy-pasting memes to group chats no one actually read. Life was dull, but at least it was safe. Then one night, around 1:40 a.m., maybe later, I stumbled across something different. Not flashy, not viral, just a buried thread in a forum I didn't usually visit. The title was bland, level 1. No emojis, no bait, just 2 words. Curiosity should have died right there, but something about it hooked me. Maybe it was the replies. Dozens of users posting things like completed or on to the next. No one explained what it was. No one asked questions. Just silence, aside from those vague confirmations. I clicked. Inside was a short message. You've been invited. Do not share this link. Do not quit after starting. Level 1 begins at 3:33 a.m. Your camera must be on. That was it. No context. No instructions on what level 1 even meant. Just rules. Normally, I'd have rolled my eyes and kept scrolling. I'd seen creepypasta LARPs before, people role-playing fake cults or pretending they found haunted VHS tapes. I wasn't new to this kind of nonsense. But there was something about this thread. It didn't feel like a joke. It felt wrong. Like opening a door you're not supposed to touch. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. If it looked shady, why not back out? Close the tab. Forget it. Move on with life. That's what any sane person would have done. But that's the thing. I wasn't sane. I was bored, restless, hungry for something, anything that felt real. And this felt like forbidden knowledge, like stumbling into a secret club that didn't want outsiders. It felt like something you weren't supposed to find, which only made me want it more. So I bookmarked the page, told myself I'd forget about it, but I didn't. All through the next day, the words level 1 begins at 3:33 a.m. looped in the back of my head. I could have ignored it, should have, but by the time midnight rolled around, I already knew what I was going to do. I'd try it just once, just to see. I told myself it was harmless. A prank. Another weird corner of the internet that I could laugh about later. But looking back now, I realize that was the first mistake. Because the moment I let curiosity win, I was already playing their game. The night of the first task, I sat in my room with my blinds half shut, the glow of my monitor painting everything in that sickly blue light. The rules had been simple, almost stupid. Stand in front of a mirror at 3:33 a.m. and say your full name backwards 3 times. Record yourself. Upload the footage. That was it. That was level 1. Honestly, I laughed. It sounded like the kind of thing middle school kids dared each other to do at sleepovers, right after summoning Bloody Mary, or playing with a Ouija board they bought from Walmart. I set up my phone anyway, propped against a pile of books on my dresser, lens pointed at the bathroom mirror. My reflection looked back at me, half bored, half annoyed, hair a mess. When the time hit 3:33 exactly, I cleared my throat and muttered my name backwards. It came out garbled, clumsy. I tried again, slower. The third time, I dragged it out with exaggerated drama, just to make myself laugh. Wow, terrifying, I muttered, rolling my eyes at my reflection. Nothing happened. No flickering lights. No phantom hands grabbing me from the glass. Just silence. I stopped the recording, shrugged, and uploaded it to the link they'd sent me. The site had this bare bones, early internet vibe, black background, white text, no ads, no logos, just a box for files. I dropped mine in, hit submit, and waited for the punchline. Nothing. I figured that was it. some dumb ritual challenge, and I'd wasted half an hour on it. I shut off the lights, crawled into bed, and tried not to feel disappointed. The next morning, my phone buzzed with a new message. Level 1 complete. Review attached. I opened it. At first, it looked identical to the video I'd uploaded. Same lighting, same angle, same me mumbling through my backwards name. But about halfway through, something shifted. My reflection didn't move in sync with me. The real me on camera finished speaking and let out a laugh. But the reflection didn't stop. Its mouth kept moving, stretching into this awful grin that was wider than my face could physically go. I thought maybe it was a glitch, compression artifact, something weird in the upload. I replayed it over and over, scrubbing the timeline. Every time, the same result. My reflection kept smiling when I was. I showed it to my friend later that day. Sent it over Discord. Bro, it's just some ARG, he said. They probably messed with the file after you uploaded it. That's their gimmick. You're falling for it. He wasn't wrong. That explanation made sense. Logical. It calmed me down, at least for a few minutes. But then I noticed something else. At the very end of the video, barely visible, almost swallowed in static, there was movement in the corner of my room. A shadow sliding along the wall, even though in my recording the room had been empty. I hadn't seen that. I knew I hadn't. I zoomed in, frame by frame, until the pixels smeared. The shape was still there. Humanoid, leaning just slightly forward like it was watching me. I wanted to believe it was a trick, an edit. But I hadn't given them access to my room. I hadn't given them access to me. That was the first time I felt it, that creeping, gut-level fear that maybe this wasn't just an internet stunt. Maybe I'd actually opened a door I couldn't shut. Still, when the next message arrived, level 2 unlocked. Are you ready? I didn't delete it. I told myself it was still just a game, that the video was doctored, that none of it was real. But curiosity has teeth, and I bit down hard. Level 2 was harder to laugh off. The instructions were simple enough. Follow a stranger for 10 minutes. Record discreetly. Upload proof. Not dangerous, technically. Creepy, sure, but not life-threatening. And at 2 in the afternoon on a crowded street, it almost felt ridiculous. Like I was doing some low-rent spy cosplay. I picked a man in a gray hoodie, kept my distance, held my phone low. He ducked into a convenience store, bought cigarettes, kept walking. I trailed him around the block, checking the timer on my phone like it was a lifeline. When 10 minutes hit, I stopped recording, turned away, and bolted home like a guilty kid. When I uploaded it, the site didn't respond immediately. I refreshed twice before the message appeared. Level 2 complete. You're learning. That phrasing stuck with me. Learning what? The next day at school, I tried to tell myself it was nothing. Just an ARG, like my friend had said. My teachers droned on, My friends gossiped in the cafeteria. The world spun on. I was supposed to be normal, but I was, because later that evening, scrolling the news, I saw an article buried halfway down the page. A man in a gray hoodie had been found unconscious in an alley not far from where I followed him. The article said mugging, no suspects, but my stomach dropped. Coincidence? It had to be. I wasn't responsible. I told myself that over and over. Level 3 didn't give me much time to dwell. Enter a building after hours. Record what you see. Upload. That one made my palms sweat. Breaking and entering wasn't just creepy, it was a crime. But something about the phrasing, after hours, gave me wiggle room. I didn't need to smash windows or pick locks. I just needed access. So I chose the library. It closed at 9, but I knew the back door didn't always latch. At 11:47 p.m., I slipped inside with my phone camera on. The place was dark, cavernous. My footsteps echoed on the tile as I panned across rows of silent shelves. The air felt thicker than usual, charged. I half expected to see someone step out between the books. Nothing happened. At least, not until I uploaded the footage. The version they sent back was wrong. Again. In my original video, the library was empty. In their version, something hunched at the far end of the aisle. A shadow too tall, limbs too long, standing perfectly still. When my camera panned past, its head jerked in my direction. I hadn't seen that. I swore I hadn't. That night, I dreamed of it. The shape from the video. Waiting for me between the shelves, whispering my name backwards. By morning, level 4 was waiting. This time, the instructions made me pause for a long time before clicking. Send a message to someone you love. Tell them you'll never see them again. Record their response. Upload. I stared at my phone for almost an hour. The thought of doing it made me nauseous. But what was the alternative? Ignore it. Quit. I typed out a message to my mom. Hands shaking, I hit send. Her reply came within seconds. What? Are you okay? Call me right now. I couldn't. I recorded the notification ping, the text itself, and uploaded it. The reply from the site was instant. Level 4 complete. Well done. I felt sick. Days started blurring together after that. My friends noticed I was quieter, distracted. My mom kept leaving voicemails I didn't answer. I'd sit in class, staring at the clock, waiting for the next task. My world shrank to a series of instructions and recordings, and every time I thought about stopping, I remembered the gray hoodie man in the alley, the shadow in the library, the smile that wasn't mine. It wasn't just a game. It was shaping something. Late one night, I dug deeper into the forum. Past the levels I hadn't unlocked yet, past the threads that had gone quiet. Buried in the archives, I found usernames I recognized, accounts that had posted completed months ago. None of them had posted since. And then I found a pinned comment. A moderator's note, dated 2 years back. Players who fail to comply are removed permanently. I kept telling myself I could stop whenever I wanted. But that wasn't true. It never was. The tasks kept coming. Taking photos of strangers through their windows. Recording myself standing in the middle of the road at midnight while cars screamed past. Whispering numbers into my microphone until my throat was raw. Harmless, I told myself. Pointless. Just busy work for some sadist with too much coding skill. But every task left residue. A bruise I didn't remember getting. A friend asking if I'd been outside their house at night. A teacher telling me I looked pale, thinner. The game wasn't confined to my screen anymore. It was leaking into everything. And the deeper I went, the harder it was to crawl back. Level 7 looked harmless on the surface. A single sentence, no timer, no extra rules. When the call comes at midnight, answer it. Do not hang up. Do not speak until spoken to. That's it. No props, no public stunt. Just pick up the phone. I tried to laugh it off, but all day I couldn't focus. My leg bounced through class. My hands shook at work. Midnight isn't a scary time until you spend 12 hours waiting for it, knowing someone is supposed to call. At 12:01, my phone lit up. No number, just unknown caller. The ringtone sounded distorted, like the notes were bending, stretching out too long. My chest tightened. I almost let it go to voicemail, but then the words scrolled across my screen, glowing like they'd been typed in. Level 7. Pick up. So I did. Silence. Not the dead silence of a dropped call. This was thicker, like the line was open to some place I couldn't hear, like the sound was being swallowed. I held my breath, waiting. Then a voice. Not quite male, not quite female. Filtered, mechanical, yet almost intimate, like it knew me. Welcome to the next tier. We've been watching you. I swallowed. My throat felt raw. I wanted to ask who, but I remembered the rule. Don't speak until spoken to. The voice chuckled, low and static-filled. You're doing well, better than most. Check the leaderboard, you'll see. The line clicked dead. I stared at my screen, hands trembling, until curiosity dragged me back to the site. There it was, new tab at the top I hadn't noticed before. LEADERBOARD. I clicked. Names scrolled down in simple white font. Hundreds of them. Some I recognized from the old threads, some I didn't. Beside each was a number levels completed. Many were stuck at 4 or 5, a handful at 6. And then, near the very top, my username. Level 7. I should have felt proud. Instead, I felt sick. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every creak of my house sounded like footsteps. Every shadow seemed too long, too sharp. And when I walked past the mirror in my hallway, I caught my reflection watching me, eyes following me, even after I'd turned my head. The next morning, I got a message. Not from the site this time from a random Discord account with no profile picture. "You're in deep now, call me." Attached was a phone number. Against every shred of logic I had left, I dialed. A man's voice answered, low and tired. "You're playing the challenge." I froze. "Who is this?" "Doesn't matter. I used to play, I quit. That's why I don't have long." His words tumbled fast, panicked. "They don't let you walk away. You think you're in control. You're not. They're feeding it, feeding them. Every task, every recording, it's not for you. It's for the viewers." "The viewers," my voice cracked. "They're watching, always watching. Look at the leaderboard, don't you get it? That's not progress, that's ranking. Your entertainment." Static ripped through the line. He coughed, choked. "You need to listen. Your reflection isn't yours anymore. Don't look too long. Don't." The call cut. I sat there, with the phone pressed to my ear, heart pounding, listening to the empty dial tone. I wanted to delete everything, smash my computer, run. But when I turned back to my screen, a new message was already waiting. "Level 8 unlocked. Are you ready?" This time, I didn't click right away. My hands hovered over the keyboard. But then the lights in my room flickered, buzzing with electricity. My phone screen lit up by itself. The words burned in white text. "Yes, you are." That's when I knew there was no quitting, no escape. The challenge wasn't online anymore. It was in my house. That night, I covered the mirrors. I shut off my computer. I locked my door. None of it mattered, because when I finally crawled into bed, whispering to myself that maybe I could just ignore it, I heard breathing in the room with me. Slow, deep, not mine. And when I opened my eyes, I saw the faint glow of my webcam light. Red, unblinking, on. I wasn't alone anymore. I never was. Everything unraveled after level 8. At first, I thought I could still juggle it. Pretend life was normal. Go to class, answer texts, laugh at memes. But the cracks showed fast. Everyone else scrolled harmless content, cat videos, bad lip syncs, people embarrassing themselves on camera. Me, I scrolled the forum, the leaderboard, looking for patterns, looking for who'd vanish next. It consumed me. My friends noticed. "Dude, you're pale. You sleeping at all?" I'd mumble something about deadlines, caffeine, stress. They didn't believe me. They stopped inviting me out, stopped asking. And that was fine. Better they thought I was a burnout than realize the truth. Something was crawling through my devices, through my walls, through me. It started small. My phone would ring, and on the other end, I'd hear my own voice whispering, "Keep going." Sometimes it said my name backwards. Sometimes it just breathed. At first, I thought it was some kind of audio trick. But then the whispers started when my phone wasn't even on. Files on my computer corrupted. Random folders appeared, full of footage I hadn't filmed, grainy clips of me sleeping, me brushing my teeth, me standing in my room staring at the corner for 10 straight minutes. The first time I saw one, I screamed so loud my neighbor pounded the wall. I tried to show my friend over Discord, screen shared one of the clips, but when it played for him, it wasn't me. It was a figure my size, my room, but the face was blurred out. "Bro, what is this? You trolling?" he asked. I ended the call, blocked him, safer that way, because every time I tried to share proof, the files shifted. The evidence erased itself. The challenge didn't want outsiders. It only wanted me. And the worst part, sometimes in the corrupted clips, there were things behind me, figures at the window, shadows crawling across the ceiling, faces pressed up against the glass, grinning too wide. But in real life, when I turned nothing, that's when paranoia rooted deep. I started covering my windows with blankets. I unplugged every mirror in the house. My phone stayed face down, taped camera covered. Didn't matter. I still felt eyes on me. One night, my mom called again. I almost ignored it, but guilt pushed me to answer. "Sweetheart, are you okay? You sound different. People say they've seen you at night, standing outside, just standing there. Is that true?" I couldn't speak. My skin crawled. "Baby," she whispered, "are you there?" And then, through the static, I heard another voice on the line. Not hers. Mine. "Don't worry, Mom. I'll see you soon." Click. I threw the phone across the room, shattered the screen. It didn't matter. Later that night, it buzzed to life again, cracked glass lighting up. A new message. Level 9 unlocked. Almost there. Almost where? I tried not to read it, tried to sleep, but I couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I dreamed of faces in windows, hands reaching through screens, a red light glowing in the dark. At school, I bombed an exam, couldn't focus. My professor pulled me aside. "You need help." I almost laughed. Help? Who could help? This wasn't depression or burnout or whatever excuse normal people got away with. This was something else. And the more I resisted, the more it pushed. One afternoon, I walked home and noticed muddy footprints leading up to my door. My door was locked, but inside, my laptop was open, humming. A new folder sat on the desktop, labeled "Do Not Open." Of course, I opened it. Inside were hundreds of images, screenshots, but not of me, of you. Random IP addresses, webcam stills, people staring at their phones, at their desks, at their lives, blissfully unaware they were being watched. And a text file, just one sentence. "They're next, unless you finish." I slammed the laptop shut, heart hammering, bile rising in my throat. Everyone else scrolls memes. I scroll for signs of who's next. I don't even know how much of me is left anymore. The paranoia's a constant throb, a pulse behind my eyes. I don't eat right, don't sleep. I catch my reflection moving when I don't, and sometimes, God, I think I see it smiling, even when I'm crying. And still the messages come. The tasks, the levels, each one worse, each one burrowing deeper under my skin. I can't share them all. Some are too awful. Some are just impossible to describe. And others aren't mine to reveal. But believe me when I say this, if you'd seen the things I've seen, you'd understand why I can't stop. Because if I stop, someone else takes my place. And if you're listening this far, maybe that someone is you. The challenge knows curiosity is contagious. That's the real infection. And now, I can feel it circling me tighter, pulling me toward the end, toward whatever waits beyond level 9. I don't want to know, but I don't have a choice. Level 9 came with no countdown, no riddle, no playful dare dressed as ritual. Just one line. Choose hurt someone, vanish, or join us. That was it. I stared at the screen until my eyes blurred, until the words burned against my eyelids when I blinked. It didn't say how, didn't say when, just gave me those 3 options. Hurt someone, vanish, or join. I slammed my laptop shut, tried to breathe, tried to tell myself it was another mind game, another step in their twisted theater. But even with the computer off, the words kept flashing in my head. And then my phone buzzed, cracked screen lighting up. A new message. Timer started. You have 72 hours. I tried to run. First night, I packed a bag, shoved it into the trunk of my car, and drove until the city lights disappeared in the rear view. I stopped at a motel off the highway, curtains drawn, phone powered down. For a few hours, I almost believed I was free, until the landline rang. A shrill, endless ringing that dug into my skull. I shouldn't have answered. God, I know I shouldn't have, but I did. Static, then layered voices. Hundreds of them. Some high, some low, some eerily familiar. And beneath them, one clear phrase over and over. Choose, choose, choose. I ripped the cord out of the wall. The phone kept ringing. By morning, I was back home. Back where they wanted me. I tried reaching out. Emailed every contact form I could find. Copied the corrupted files, the whispers, the screenshots. Every time the attachments broke. Empty folders. Blank audio. It wouldn't let me prove anything. Then came the voicemail. A woman's voice, ragged, trembling. If you're hearing this, you've hit level 9. I did too. I didn't choose fast enough. They came for me. Don't think you'll escape. There's no escape. The only way out is in. Her voice cracked, then lowered to a whisper. And if you're recording this for someone else, stop. It spreads. It always spreads. Click. That night, I saw the shadow again. Not in a video this time. In my room. It pressed against the wall, stretched across the floor, arms too long, head cocked at an angle that no human neck should bend. And it spoke. My voice. You've done so well. Don't ruin it now. I froze. My breath came in sharp, broken gasps. What do you want from me? Its grin widened. We want you. We want all of you. I stumbled back, knocking over my chair, clawing for the door. The lights flickered. My laptop whirred to life by itself, screen glowing. A live feed. My room, my terrified face on display. And beside it, a counter, thousands watching. They'd been watching the whole time. The leaderboard wasn't progress. It was ranking, just like the ex-player said. We were contestants. Entertainment. And now I was center stage. The chat scrolled faster than I could read. Make him hurt someone. No, make him vanish. No, join. I backed into the wall, shaking my head. No, I won't. But the shadow stepped closer. My reflection in the dark window smiled back at me, lips moving though mine stayed shut. And my laptop displayed the final instruction. If you're watching, you're already part of it. That's when I realized it wasn't asking me to choose. It was asking us. Every view, every click, every second you've spent listening, you're feeding it. You're voting without knowing. The room went cold. My chest tightened, lungs refusing to fill. The shadow loomed over me, swallowing the light, whispering, "Time up." I screamed, clawed at the laptop, tried to slam it shut. The feed didn't stop. The watchers didn't stop. And then blackness. I don't remember falling. Don't remember hitting the ground. When I opened my eyes, it was daylight. My laptop was gone. My phone was gone. My reflection wrong. It moved slower, like it was adjusting to wearing me. And I knew then I hadn't chosen. The challenge had chosen for me. Because when I opened my mouth, ready to call for help, the voice that came out wasn't mine. It was theirs. You think online challenges are just dumb pranks. That's what I thought too. Until the night my webcam light flickered on by itself, and I realized I wasn't the one in control anymore. I've told you everything, the threads, the calls, the voices, the shadow that wears my reflection like a suit. But none of that matters now. Because if you've listened this far, if you've kept watching, then you've already stepped inside. That's how it works. The first taste is always secondhand. Curiosity, fascination, the part of you that whispers, "It's not real." That's the same whisper that convinced me to click, to try, to play along. And it only takes one step. Don't roll your eyes. Don't pretend you aren't curious, because I see you. Right now, sitting there, screen glowing in the dark, breathing a little faster than you were 5 minutes ago, shifting in your seat when the static spikes between my words. You're not just watching anymore. It's watching you back. I told myself I could stop, that it was just a story, just entertainment. But that's the trap, isn't it? We want to believe we're safe because we're only listening, only lurking. I thought that too, until I was. So here's my warning and my dare. Would you take the first task? Would you stand in front of your mirror at 3:33 a.m. and whisper your name backwards? Don't lie. I'll know, because that's how it spreads. Not through downloads, not through files, through choices. The moment you picture yourself doing it, the moment you imagine how it would feel It already has you. I can't stop what comes next. For me, it's too late. Maybe it's too late for you too. But if you're watching this, before they take it down, remember, I tried to warn you. I really did. Wait, do you hear that? It's static.